I belong from a middle class family from Ludhiana. Ludhiana is a tier 2 city. But the good part about Ludhiana is you're surrounded by a lot of business people. My father, I've always seen him work really, really hard. He's a businessman as well. He works Monday to Sunday, no off. He's not taken a single off. I have not seen him. He can't sit at home. He always has to go to work. So that part of the thing that you have to work hard is pretty normal in my head. My mother was a teacher. As she's getting older, she's a housewife. I always wanted to be a tech entrepreneur. So after that, next about 9 years of my life, I was an engineer, where I was figuring out how to start up, how to start my own thing, and eventually Intervue happened. When we started Intervue, I remember we started building it from a WeWork in Gurgaon. I remember I used to go to the office. I had a day job, so I was handling an engineering team and a project. I used to go to the office around 10:30ish, wrap up the office around 8ish. Every day schedule, then head to WeWork, sit there from about 9 to 3-4 a.m. in the morning, every single day, and then head home at 4 a.m. And we would spend most of our nights at WeWork and weekends at WeWork to build the product. And that's how we built Intervue. Yeah, so it took us more than 45 days to build the MVP, but I remember the idea was to be scrappy, not think about a lot of deep stuff, be a product with very less features, but the idea was to ship. I learned very early that a lot of people get stuck in this loop of making a product perfect and then only they launch it. And it's already too late. Either they run out of money, they run out of intent, or they run out of motivation to continue. Our idea was to build something scrappy and make it live in like 45 days. And that's what we did. You know, as founders, every founder pretty much who's starting up, who's figuring it out, even in the 0 to 1 phase, figuring out PMF, 1 to 10 stage or 100 to 1000 stage, doesn't matter. What entrepreneurship teaches you is to make you comfortable to live with uncertainty. And the job of an entrepreneur is to make sure that they give confidence to every other person that is around them, even at the time when everything is uncertain. Second thing that it teaches you is to have a lot of convincing power. I think you build it over a period of time with a lot of rejections. For us, being a seed stage startup with the kind of team that we have now. So I think Shark Tank was had a huge impact on our growth because the viewership back in the day when our show aired, it used to air on TV also, not just on OTT. So TV plus OTT both were there. I think we saw easily, a 20x jump in traffic. Okay, so I think it's great that we are published in Forbes magazine. I am more excited for the fact that Forbes covered the product that we have built and they told our story to the world. I think it's very important for our category to be recognized because it's a new category altogether. I remember when we started Intervue in March of 2021, we were earning like 40,000 rupees a month. Eventually, fast forward to about 6 to 7 months down the line, we had a single customer pay us about 12 lakh rupees. That customer was Nykaa. I sent a cold email to about 50 angels in India. Not a lot of them responded. A few responded that they're not interested. So I emailed Kunal as well, who's the founder of Cred, Kunal Shah. I emailed him as well. I was told that, are you mad? Why will he reply to your email? The email was crisp enough. He saw the email and he replied. And long story short, he's now an angel investor.
Taking a leap to a startup again was a big doubt. It's a big risk, right? But Rahul, in his 8 to 10 hours of conversation with me, I think convinced me of the vision, what we're trying to do. And I could really, really relate to the kind of energy, the urgency and sheer will and conviction that Rahul has.
We were chasing this very, very large deal, which would have been at that point the largest deal in Intervue's history. And I still remember that deal was supposed to close on 30th of June. 30th of June was the Cricket World Cup final, which was a Saturday. The next morning, the guy had gone for brunch and my sales had got him there as well. And then he's like, dude, like, मेरे को World Cup match भी नहीं देखने दोगे, brunch भी नहीं करने दोगे. And I think he sort of signed the dots just because of our pure persistence, right?
The biggest deal that we have ever cracked is in crores. Customer agreed to pay us prepaid. We've been fortunate enough that our team has been able to crack some very, very big logos from India. Like we work with NPCI in India and National Stock Exchange in India, Rakuten, These are some of the big brands and logos that work with us. I think the better your sales rep is, they're pretty much the face of the brand in front of the customer. You know, B2B selling is slightly more complex than direct to consumer selling. Of course, it has its own challenges, but in B2B selling, you have to map multiple personas from the same company. Now, India has very unique startups like Hive School. They help people to get trained on sales, and it's very hands-on. My advice to anybody who wants to start up, I think it's a great time. India is at a great juncture. Ecosystem around fundraising, founders being helpful, founders being approachable, teams being approachable, hiring, maturity of hiring, the teams that you hire, everything has evolved a lot in India. And I think, I think global investors are looking at Indian entrepreneurs because they think India is a big market, and rightly so. So I think this is the right time to start up, and I think anybody who wants to start up should act now rather than waiting that मैं 3 महीने बाद कर लूँगा, 6 महीने बाद कर लूँगा, या that time will never come because you lose the motivation to start up because you'll get comfortable to that paycheck that you get every day. I think you should start up now.